Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Sketchy Go Ichie. I'm your host, Roger Andrews, artist, illustrator, content creator. And the content I'm creating for you today is the next step in my series of videos called How to Not Suck at Art. I know I've said it in the previous ones, and hopefully you guys are watching and you're following along and you're kind of picking up on the philosophy and the mindset I'm trying to impart. But bottom line is, you probably don't suck at art. You probably just need a little confidence boost and a lot of practice and a little instruction. So that's what I'm here for. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Sketchy Go Ichie.
Okay guys, guess what? This is a crucial one in the How to Not Suck at Art series. You have to understand exactly what I said in the title, or what I showed you in the title. It's just drawing. It's just painting. It's just sculpting. It's just creating. And when I say it, I mean the process of manufacturing art, whether it be for a professional means, to get means, or is it purely a fun endeavor? But the bottom line, and this is important, this is one of the most essential things to understand about how to not suck at art, is the act of drawing is just that. It's an act. It's an action. It's a thing. It's not so overwhelmingly, I don't want to say precious, because it can be precious to you. It can be important. But it's not so important that it's something that you don't want to share. It's something that you don't want to move forward and advance in. It's not something that is can be crippling to you, because it's like, oh, I can't do this well, so God, I might as well stop. Let's take all the pressure off. Let's take all the extra emphasis off and just boil it down to what it is. It's just drawing. Guys, it should be enjoyable. It should be something that in the end you realize it's like, whether you're great at it or you're learning to be great at it, the actual movement of your hands, or whatever device you use, or whatever appendage you use to apply your art, it should be taken, yes, a little bit seriously, but not so seriously that it limits you. So, speaking of taking away limitations, let me explain to you what these images are you're seeing form on the screen. This is a project I had done for an advertising client, and I don't know if you can tell, you probably can't, but these are all sort of like animated versions of pathogens and germs and really nasty sort of microscopic creatures that exist in our world. They're based off of real sort of pathogens. They're based off real nasty little subatomic creatures that exist on Earth. And so the goal, or the task that was presented to me, was to sort of create not animated versions. They don't move. These were static images. I believe they're used for ads, online ads. But I'll be honest with you, when I got the assignment, I really didn't want to do it. Yes, I'm a professional artist, and I don't say that to be any kind of braggart. And part of being a professional, and this is something that you all will learn as you get to a certain place in your art, is taking on assignments that you don't necessarily want to do. To get better at art, or should I say to not suck at art, part of it is realizing that sometimes you will get an assignment, or sometimes someone will ask you to render something, and it doesn't, like, the inspiration level isn't at maximum. But here's how I conquer that. I sit down with myself and I say, self, what are you doing here? You're just drawing. It's just drawing, guys. It's not such a big deal that I have to spend, in this case, several hours rendering different kinds of germs You know, it. I honestly, it wasn't like it was pulling teeth because I was kind of able to take each one of these sort of germs and, as you can see, kind of turn them into these monstrous characters. But that was the direction of the client. I probably would have gone in different directions with each of these, but they did allow for me to have enough creativity, and I was able to infuse enough of my own personal taste into these to make this an enjoyable assignment. Meaning, I took the pressure off of myself and basically boiled it down to its smallest common denominator. The fact that it is, and I'm going to say it again, and maybe you at home can repeat it, it's just drawing. So, when you look at this piece, I kind of zoomed out here, and you kind of can see all of the different variations of the characters. Oh, by the way, they're in circles because they're ultimately, I think they were going to be presented in within this sort of disc shape. So I figured, let me actually render a circle so I can make sure that they play well, or the composition works well within a circular shape. So just a little digression, but get back to the topic. The reason I say it's just drawing is because oftentimes when people are and this goes for really seasoned artists, they will get an assignment, or they'll give themselves an assignment, and they will be like, it'll literally be like pulling teeth. It'll be so uncomfortable and so just such a burden that they lose sight of the fact that, yes, I am actually literally rendering for a living. Same goes for someone who is not necessarily drawing an income yet from doing art. They won't take the necessary steps, particularly at the earlier stages, the developmental stages of learning how to draw. The early steps of actually rendering things that you have not rendered in the past, or rendering things that you don't have a love for. I'll give you an example. There are a lot of people who love anime. Young men, young women, older, whatever. People who love anime and love to render characters in that Japanese style. But here's the thing, if you only render that, so you only render the certain character with the big eyes and the features and the proportions of the anime style, and you pretty much render that character over and over and over again in different variations, that's all you love to do, you'll never ever advance. And it's the act of learning, yes, I say the act of learning how to render things that you don't necessarily like, that expands your toolbox, that makes your ability to render multiple amounts of things in a really clear and distinct way, because you're applying that same level of relaxation, which is probably the best way to kind of see how to take that philosophy of it's just drawing. It's a level of relaxation that you have to kind of learn to reach. It's not a Zen state per se, but it's not as deep as all that. But there is a level of sort of comfort that you have to familiarize yourself with in order to be a versatile artist. And versatility is ultimately where you want to be, even if it's within your own distinct style. You can see, hopefully you can see here, all these characters, I've taken them and applied my own sort of, and forgive the the pretentious sounding nature of this, but in my own Roger Andrews render style. By that I mean the line quality and the way I fill the blacks and the just the texture that I create. A lot of it is, obviously it's tons and tons of practice over the years, and some of it's, study of other artists that I really admire. But the bottom line is I've taken all the pressure off of this job, again, that I did not want to do. And by simply saying, you know what, heck, I'm an artist for a living. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. That fact cannot be avoided. And once you embrace that, and even if you're not an artist for a living, once you embrace that you are creating art, and it literally should be something that it's actually, I don't want to go so far as to say it should be joyous, but what it should be is, at the very baseline, it should be pleasurable. And it's all I want from all of these videos, from all of you who are watching them. When I say how to not suck at art, a lot of it is purely what I said in the intro, mindset. And if you get the correct mindset, and in this case, learning to just take some comfort out of the fact that you're drawing for a living, you will have it all down pat, or at least be on the path. Okay? So that's what I mean by how to not suck at art, part 5. Just drawing, y'all. Hope you got it. If you do, leave a comment, click the like button, and definitely subscribe. Please feel free to do so. All right, sketchy go ichie. Live your moment. Happy sketching, y'all. Peace.